Sir, there are certain events in a nation's history which uplifts the entire national mood. And August 23rd, 2023 was definitely a golden moment in our history when billions in India abatedly watched Chandrayaan successfully land on the uncharted part of the moon. It was really an epoch-making day, and it was a day which lifted up the spirits of entire India. This spirit was lifted up by ISRO, which is manned by people like TK Anuradha, M Vanita, Latikamba, Kalpana Kalasti, Mangala Mani, Sohan, Subhashish Nayak, and the former director Sivan, and the project director Veeramuthuvel from Viluppuram. These are people who come from small towns, who studied mostly in government schools and in small and in non-private colleges, not very glamorous institutions, who lifted up the spirit of India through ISRO. So this house, I'm sure, and the entire nation pays great tribute to them. Sir, it's not surprising that our defense minister, who was a physics lecturer, veered into philosophy, veered into spiritualism, veered into faith. Every physicist, including Oppenheimer, who was the father of the atom bomb, eventually became a philosopher. And I'm sure our defense minister has got a philosophical side to it. But sir, the point is, we confuse spiritualism and faith. I agree that science and spiritualism have a very close connection. I agree that philosophy and science has a broad connection. But sometimes we confuse faith to be spiritualism and science. Faith cannot be questioned, because if it is questioned, an Ayatollah will give a fatwa, a clergy will expunge you from the church, or a self-styled godman will tell you that you are a heretic. So faith is not questioned, but spiritualism is questioned and science is questioned. What is questioned is what can be science. What can't be questioned can only be faith. So let's not confuse faith and spiritualism. Sir, I am a believer in God. I have faith in astrology. I have faith in God. I have faith in ritualism. That is my faith. But that should not be confused with spiritualism or with science. What is science is it must be experimentally proved. It must be tested. Spiritualism is also tested. Nothing which is permanent can be science, because science is constantly questioned. But faith, we believe, is permanent and can't be questioned. So let us never confuse that. And in today's world, faith, myth, mythology, fable are being used by charlatans in the guise of science. And in today's political environment, this confusion is getting even worse. So it is very, very important that we maintain the scientific temper of India, which has been showcased by ISRO and by the various scientists I listed up. Sir, it is actually baffling. This question of us landing in the moon, people have said we have launched the cheapest moon mission in the world. This moon mission was cheaper than the two Hollywood movies which are produced about space. I completely agree with that. But it also poses some very serious questions to us. As a people, as a nation, I'm not pointing fingers at the government. How can we as a nation, which is able to land in the uncharted part of the moon, still have manual scavenging? How can we not build roads which don't go away in one monsoon? While we have this great scientific capacity, where have we lost this? I completely understand our heritage and our history has been very closely associated with science and with astronomy. In Tamil Nadu, you come to the Brigadishwara temple, you will talk about that building for thousands of years. But I am not sure whether we are going to be talking about this parliament 1,000 years from now. I am not sure whether this building will last 1,000 years from now. Where have we lost that? That is where we really need to focus. I am completely in agreement that we must research, we must test, we must go back to our roots to find out where did we lose this science which we already had. How can we as a people have this contrast, landing in the moon and having manual scavenging at the same time? How can we be there? We're launching satellites for everybody else, but can't manage a road in a monsoon. Why can't we do that? There is something seriously wrong in our society if we can't leverage on the scientific advancements we've been making. We really need to reach out. There are geniuses in every town, in every village. Then ISRO is being the classic example of little town India. ISRO is not about Ivy League schools. ISRO is not about IITs. ISRO is not about Oxford and Cambridge. ISRO's success is about the genius of India. If you want to call it Bharat as well. And we need to unleash that genius. And how do we do that? I have a proposal to the government. Please institute fellowships, scholarships and internships for ISRO in government schools, particularly aimed at government schools. You are very, very good in running national campaigns, I must confess. Please run a national campaign. Identify the next Kalpana Chawla. Identify the next Vikram Sarabhai from the government schools of India. Run a nationwide program. Encourage people to believe that they can also be part of it. Because people, until this landing happened, many people don't even know that ISRO was there. Many people do not know that they can become scientists. And here we have living examples of people from small towns who went to government schools becoming great scientists. Run a national campaign, run fellowships, run scholarships and run internships. Open the doors of ISRO to the average Indian who is so curious, who is fired by ambition, who is fired by aspiration to be part of it. Sir, this is a great day and a great time in our lives. It is important for us to merge our historic scientific knowledge with modern science. But let us never ever confuse ourselves. Let us never ever confuse ourselves with charlatans who confuse faith and who use that as a propaganda. I know many years ago, I am a firm believer in the Lord Ganesha, but they were telling us that Ganesha was drinking milk. But nobody ever explained it was actually capillary effect of a porous body which was actually sucking up a liquid. They tell us that first plastic surgery was on Ganesha without ever explaining how the circumference of an elephant trunk can be fitted on a human body. But sir, faith is different, spiritualism different. Spiritualism is questioned, faith is not questioned. But let us never ever confuse that. I am not disparaging any faith. I am a man of faith. I believe in God. I believe in rituals. I even believe in astrology. But that should never take away the scientific temperament of India. And we must be a scientific nation, build on the foundations and answer these contrasting questions which are being posed to us. I once again salute the unsung heroes of ISRO and hope we unleash the true potential of India. Thank you very much.